everyone. I'm here today with Nastimir, who has been on the streets in Bulgaria for the past 35 days demonstrating. Nastimir, why have you been on the street for the past 35 days?
Hi guys, I'm the leader of Volt Bulgaria, and we've been protesting because we're fed up with this government and all the corruption that is making Bulgaria the poorest country in the European Union. Basically what happened is that prosecution, which is supposed to be independent institution, but in Bulgaria is related to the Prime Minister, Borissov, entered the presidency, where the presidency is also independent institution. So this act basically outraged a lot of people because our president is very vocal against all the misdoings of this government, and also he's very vocal against all the corruption on all levels. And all people understood this as an act of the prime minister against the president, and that's why spontaneously everybody was on the streets. On the same time, on the Bulgarian beach, a house that was done with the European money was basically all the access to a public beach was cut off to the people, and a particular person which is with not very good reputation in Bulgaria was protected by the Bulgarian National Service, which is basically a public service that should be protecting the president and the prime minister and not regular people. So this sparked the second outrage, and that's why so many people from right, left and center are 35 days on the streets of Sofia, and not only Sofia, but all around Europe and all the big cities in Bulgaria.
So, yeah, I can understand if you're in a corrupt country for such a long time that at some point something can ignite the outrage of all the people from left, right, and center. And can you tell us we've been in Sofia a couple of times. What's it like on the streets now? You've been there. Does it go on the entire day or night? How many people are there? Is the entire Bulgarian team joining you?
Yes, many of the Volt members are joining the protests. In general, each evening there is between 10 and 15,000 people on the streets. A few evenings there was numbers which reach 100,000 because there was a national protest. A lot of people were called from the countryside as well, and they joined the protest. We have blocked 3 major crossroads in Sofia. They are blocked for nearly 2 weeks already, and more blocks are coming on the way because the government is basically saying that nothing is happening, everything is all right, even though the survey that recently, national survey that was conducted, says that 63% of the Bulgarians are supporting the protests and they want this government to go. But yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case with the European People Party that is ruling the European Parliament at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard. That's ridiculous. So the European People Party, the biggest party in the European Parliament, basically made up out of all the Christian Democrats across Europe, they did something very weird. What can you tell us about that?
Basically shocked even for myself. I'm a pro-European person, like being part of Volt. On 10th of July, I was shocked to read Manfred Weber's position regarding on the protests in Sofia. Manfred Weber is basically the head of the group of all members of the European Parliament, which are part of the European People's Party, the EPP Group. Basically, he's the head of this group. He came up with a statement that he fully supports the government of Borissov, and his efforts to fight against corruption, which was absolutely ridiculous, because I understand that Borissov party is part of the EPP group, but EPP should have the same values for all countries. Doesn't matter are they European or non-European. At the moment, they're kind of saying for Lukashenko and Belarus that what happened there, that is not up to their liking and values, but what is happening in Bulgaria, they accept and they give the full support of it. I think this is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable at all. So I can imagine that you, as a pro-European who wants to live by the European values and is hoping that the EU can actually help to fight corruption, that you feel betrayed because of this.
not only this, but anti-European movement, they're given fuel to say, look, Europe doesn't want to protect you. Europe is supporting this corrupted government, and basically, nobody's going to help you. We need to leave European Union. Even today, in 2 hours, there is a protest in front of the German embassy because of Manfred Weber position and because of Angela Merkel lack of response. She met recently because of the COVID crisis with Borissov when she was pointing his mask that was not put properly, but she needs to point out the corruption that is happening in Bulgaria, and she's not doing that.
Exactly. So, and what can we do to help?
Basically, I want to call all the people from Volt, and not only, but people who want a strong European Union, and they want to see Bulgaria as equal member, where Bulgarians are not the poorest nation, that we have a European justice system, European healthcare system, European income. I would ask them to access and to approach all the EPP member of the European Parliament from their country, and to put the hashtag on their social media, doesn't matter, is it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or another one, hashtag Manfred Weber why. Basically, we want to understand why Manfred Weber gave this support to Borissov, and keeping in mind that what is happening in Bulgaria, and all the people, they want to change. They want to live a normal life as a Europeans. And at the moment, this position of the European People Party is working against Europe, against European values and the whole European project.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry that you are in this position, but I'm happy that we can do something to help, because that's exactly what Volt is about. We believe that only a Europe that acts together can solve our shared challenges, and we believe in the European values, and we as Volt want to make sure that they are put in place and upheld throughout Europe. And that's why we're active not only in Bulgaria, but in each European country. And in each European country, we send letters to the Bulgarian ambassadors as well, saying, please make sure that this corruption in this government stops. And we will also send this letter to the European Parliament, to the European Commission, and hopefully these things combined can build up pressure to move away from this corruption and create a better life for all Europeans and all Bulgarians. Sorry, go ahead.
Europe needs to give a very loud and clear message to all Bulgarians that they are behind our backs, that they want Bulgarians to feel Europeans, and that they would not accept corruption. Full stop. That's it.
I couldn't agree more. There's one last question, though, that I've heard that with the COVID crisis now, going out on the streets and protesting also has some danger to it. So how do you treat that, and how do people handle that? Do they keep distance? Do they all wear mouth guards? So
actually, some people are with masks, others are keeping the distance. We are trying to do so, but when you're protesting, it's difficult, to be honest. But you are reaching up to one point where people are neglecting their health because they're saying, look, they're stealing from my money. I'm poor. I would die from hunger, because we have people like that. Why should I care about my health? You know, I just want to live in a normal country. So they're kind of neglecting this because they're outraged of what is happening, and they want to change. After 13 years in the European Union, they want really to feel Europeans.
That's pretty intense, that you've reached the point where you consider demonstrating more important than your own health. So even more reason for us to all make sure that we support you. I wish you all the best in the coming days, and hopefully we'll be in touch, and hopefully it will lead to a positive outcome. Thank you for explaining it to us.
Thanks to all voters and to everybody that supports Bulgaria and the fight against corruption.
So remember, hashtag Manfred Weber, why? Because the Christian Democrats should not condone corruption in any country, anywhere in Europe. Full stop.